You don't ever feel anger. You know, actually, I could go on this because you really don't usually be getting angry. I feel like anger is like a whole foreign world for you. You get a grrr.
Oh yeah, no, anger is an incomputable. What's that category? Level of energy, and I cannot emote anger, nor do I have a view of understanding anger.
Anger, hate, agnostic. This nigga's agnostic. Oh my god, antagonistic. I hate you, bro.
Antagonistic. Anger, hate, antagonistic.
Spell antagonistic.
Antagonistic. Antagonistic. I thought that I was looking up the words prior, you know, and I looked up agnostic because I thought that's what it said. I was like, yeah, anger, hate, agnostic. That seems good.
So, honestly, at first I was thinking it's a hard one, but I feel like I used to be that type of way. Like, I feel like the energy level that I was stuck at for a long time was anger specifically. Like, why I got into a lot of things I got into, whether it be game, martial arts, even like the science side of it. Like, it was always like, I'm not one of them. Why am I different from these people? Like, I feel like anger is like, it's just when you're, I mean, I don't want to go into being black or all that type of stuff, but like when you're raised a certain way, when you're around a certain type of energy, you just grow up so like hostile. Especially like in school, people always fucked with me and stuff. Like, it's so crazy to imagine your school experience versus mine, bro. Like all I did was fight. Like, it was just always like, no, you're not gonna fuck with me. No, you're not gonna bully me. No, I'm not tolerating this. And it's just an interesting concept to think of. Like, I really did used to see with these like hate goggles. Like, because I was angry. I think the word is how you feel. I think this is the goggle. Like scorn, hate, anxiety. I think in apathy you would see in despair goggles. In shame you would see in humiliation goggles. I think the feeling of that energetic level you're on is what makes you see in that goggle. And I think anger, what it causes for you to see everything in this, in this hate goggle. Like, I hate this because of this. I hate this person for this reason. Like, you're just looking and pulling all the negatives and the worst cases from like every situation, and that's where antagonistic would come from, because you're so full of anger, you're so full of hate. Like, you almost, it's like you're breaking out of victim complex, and now you're fighting back. And like, in this fighting back, you almost become the antagonist. Like, you're not the victim anymore. Like, you're the one causing this malicious, hostile energy, because you've been absorbing it so much. Like, you just see in this type of worldview that now you're just pushing out and expressing just hatred, just anger, you're just so upset all the time. Like, I think anger really is one of the strongest goggles. I think that's why, like, it's just so easy to see in hate goggles. Like, I hate this, fuck this some bullshit. So easy to be mad at everything and everyone, because, I mean, you know, life is kind of garbage. But like, it's so overpowering that I think it's hard to even break out of. Like, once you start seeing in these hate goggles, like, it's almost like you become, what is the word for it? You become, I can't remember.
Desensitized?
No, it's like this word for like when you're just malicious about everything, because you're just like, you're so fed up that you're just like, all right, everything's gonna be worst case. And it's just so hard to break out of that when you're in anger, because it's just that type of energetic frequency. It's so compounding. You're angry, shut up. Now someone else is mad. It's just so like, there's like reverb and like bouncing off of everything. Like, anger just like intensifies and multiplies and expands like with everyone and everything. Like, it's such an intense, hard, like powerful, forceful energy. Like, it's just like, I'm fucking mad, fuck you. And it's the first time out of the pyramid when you reach this place of like control. Like, you're finally like, I could do some shit. Like, you know, like all the way from, what is it, shame at the bottom up to, yeah, desire. It's like you're wanting, you're not wanting, you're put like anger's like, fuck this shit, I'm done. Like, I'm not taking this anymore, or I want, it's mine. Like, it's when you're finally like demanding, like, and it's why I was, before we even started this, why I knew there were those levels, like I was telling you. So I was like, anger's a different one than whatever's under it. Because anger, even though it is still negative, but it's like, if you're even lower than anger, you're not even taking charge or taking control or doing anything. So by the time you make it to anger, it's like, all right, you're like kind of like heavy hitting, if that makes sense. But you can go.
I mean, let's see. It's very hard for me to pull from a personal example because the way I live life, I can't express anger, nor do I feel anger.
Antagonistic. Like how that anger and how that hate drives them towards becoming antagonistic. It's so foreign to you. You're like,
right?
Angry?
This is like
hatred?
Anger. Ah, yes. Hate? I think the reason why I can't connect with anger, hate, or being antagonistic is because I've disassociated with it so far and so long ago that the faintest memory I could even possibly have was if I was very young and I didn't get something, like super young, and I didn't get something like, oh, I don't want to watch Barney, I want to watch Jackie Chan Adventures. Why we gotta watch Barney? Rah! Not fair. And then I still wouldn't get to watch Jackie Chan Adventures, and then I was like, this anger thing doesn't work out. Why? I'm watching other people get angry in TV shows, and I'm like, why does the villain always lose? The villain's really cool. Like, I wanted Shredder to win in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all the time.
Shredder was a goon, bro.
Right? I'll be like, send a foot soldiers, you're gonna outnumber the turtles, they're gonna get their ass beat. But then, like, Shredder would, like, do some reckless, anger-driven move, and then he would get slain by 4 turtles. And I was like, wow, man. Or in Power Rangers, the villain always turned superhero swole, ultra big, drank the potion, whatever it may be, before the Power Rangers got in their Megazord. And I was like, bro, all you gotta do is squish them. All you gotta do is squish them. And they just want to gloat there. They're like, I hate the Power Rangers, and now I will kill them because I have all the power now. So their anger, and they're clouded by their hate goggles.
You cannot express anger. That was you trying to express anger, bro.
But it's so hard because it's such an early age. I realized that it doesn't work. Like, people in school, like elementary school, like kids, and even before elementary school.
I don't know, Chief. Anger works for me a lot, so I can't. I'll be getting mad and then I get what I want. That should be working.
I guess like good impressions from like Sesame Street and stuff, where they're like, solve your problems by talking about it. I got so logic minded. I was like, well, you're acting from the emotion of anger, and it didn't work for Shredder. It didn't work for the villains and trying to fight the Power Rangers. So like, why would it work? And you know, I didn't like never got into fights with friends, never got into fights with siblings. So I guess I was just super conditioned early on to never be able to, you know, effectively use anger to even see it as a tool. So then throughout the rest of my life, it was like, why are y'all getting into fights at school? Y'all don't realize you're gonna have to come back here tomorrow? You guys aren't even full-size humans. Why are y'all fighting? Oh, you didn't get your way? Oh, that's crazy. And then even when you get older, I just look at people with even more, like, bafflement. Like, you live your life with these hate goggles on. Why do you hate things? Why are you choosing to live your life this way? You let all this stimulus, like, come and you resonate with it and you get angry because you don't like this stimulus, instead of just creating a bubble and being like, firewall, firewall. You know, you're just like, I saw and or experienced through my 5 senses or thoughts some stimulus that made me angry. And now the anger has clouded my judgment with the hate goggles. So now I will take on the antagonist view because I am the one who is angry. And if I change my mind now, then I was wrong. I can't be wrong about being angry because in the past, anger worked. It helped me do that thing when I was angry.
I think that's what I went through when I first came to LA. It was like this. Remember, I kept snapping at everything. I think that was me being like even early RSD, like social circle. It was like, but being angry is like my thing. Like, who was Dante? I remember I used to say that. I'd be like, who am I if I don't get angry? Like, this is what works. Like, fuck that shit. Like, you know, like, just being, like, mad. Like, just like, pulling from that rage. Like, demanding what I want all the time. It was just, like, that was the life that I had known in my entire life. And it's like power versus force, you know? I had forced through everything from childhood to adulthood. I had a very opposite life of you. And then just being told, like, oh, you know, you can have that same amount of power without even being mad or hostile. And I'm like, what you mean? Like, you could smile your way to that same outcome. I'm like, nah, bro, you gotta smack the shit out of niggas. Fuck are you talking about? Like, no, you could just smile. It'd be okay. And I'm like, who is this smiling nigga? That's not me, chief. I'm not about it. And then slowly, circumstance by circumstance, I would just start to see, like, oh yeah, I would have thought I had to hit this nigga or like told him he was a bitch, but that's just my pride making me feel like I want him to know I'm not afraid of him. I could also just not do that and just like be like, okay, you got it, and walk away. And then I would slowly, I mean, you remember in the beginning, like, sometimes I would be like, in the beginning, it was like a slow transition of just being like, especially at Bottega, like hearing him being like, who are you talking to? But then just being like, let me just be Peter right now. Yes. Smile and nod. Yes, they're talking. Just don't hear them at all. And then I slowly started seeing how much, like, even people who would come at you maliciously or full of hostile energy, if you just smile and nod, they're like, let me find someone else to feed my anger to. And they'll move away from you because it's like you have this energetic shield that makes them not even want to, you know, interact with you because you're not feeding that hateful, antagonistic energy that they're exerting. And that's why it's like a feedback loop. Like I always say, like, that hatred wants to find more hatred. And if you don't give it hatred, it gets lost, really. Because it doesn't have enough power to, like, feed off of. It's an interesting concept.
Oh, yeah. Man, I couldn't agree more. Like, in Madagascar, you got the penguins, and they're like, smile and wave. Smile and wave
is probably one of the truest, not analogies, whatever, directives to ever be expressed by a leader in history. Just, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what to do, just smile, yes.